Well, welcome to Lesson 9 of Unit 2 on percent change. In this lesson, we have a single learning target, and that is to be able to calculate percent increase and decrease. A percent change is either an increase or a decrease, and we express that amount as a percent. Remember, the word percent means divided by 100 or compared to 100. Some common applications of percent change are markups and discounts. And the formula that we use to calculate the percent change is the final amount minus the original amount divided by the original times 100. Now, the important thing to remember in this formula is we're always dividing by the original amount. So let's go ahead and do some examples. We want to find the percent change from 50 to 45. So we're starting with an original of 50 and we're ending with 45, so that's a percent decrease. It's going down. So let's go ahead and put those numbers in our formula. So we have the final, which is 45, minus the original of 50, divided by the original of 50 times 100. And 45 minus 50 is negative 5, so watch your signs. It's negative 5 over 50 times 100. Well, this is the same as negative 1 over 10 times 100, which is a 10% decrease. Number 2, from 25 to 30. 25 is our original, so that's what we're going to be dividing by. 30 is our final, so we're going to go 30 minus 25 divided by 25 times 100. 30 minus 25 is 5, and 5 over 25 times 100. 5 over 25 is the same as 1 over 5 times 100, and that gives us 20%, and that is an increase. It went up. I'm going to leave number 3 and 4 for you to try on your own. See if you can apply each of these to the formula. We're going from 200 to 110, so this is original, this is final. And then on number 4, from 25 to 49. So let's do some more problems. Find the result of the percent change when 30 is increased by 20%. Well, in this example, we're actually using our percent change formula, but I'm going to show it to you in a way that's much simpler than solving this formula. So we're going to start with 30. That's our original amount, and we're going to increase it by 20%. So we need to find out what 20% of 30 is. So 30 is being increased. Increase means we're adding, and we're adding 20%. Now I changed the 20% to a decimal, so 20% times 30. Okay, when we multiply 20% times 30, we get 6, and 30 plus 6 is 36. So the result is 36. Now this seems a lot simpler. We're actually doing this whole formula. We're taking the percent change and we're dividing it by 100. That's this part right here. And then we're multiplying it by the original amount. That's right here. And then we're adding the original to it to give us our final amount. So we've actually just solved this formula for the final amount. Over on the right-hand side, 65 is decreased by 80%. This time it's decreased, so we're going to subtract from 65. So we're going to take 65 minus 80% as a decimal of the original amount. Of means multiply. So we need to take 0.8 times 65, and that gives us 52. And that's the amount we subtract from 65, and we end up with 13. Markups and discounts. A markup is an increase in a wholesale cost. So our final price is going to equal our original or our wholesale cost plus the markup, whereas a discount is a decrease in an original price. In a discount, the final price is the original price minus the discount. So let's take a look at some examples of those. So here are a couple of examples with discounts, and I'm going to show you two different ways of finding the answer here. And just depending on what the question asks you will determine which of these methods you're going to use. So it says admission to the museum is $8. Students receive a 15% discount. How much is the discount and how much do students pay? Well, the first method is to go ahead and find the discount and subtract it from the cost. This is probably the most traditional method. So the discount is going to be the percent as a decimal multiplied by the original amount, and that gives you $1.20. So they get a discount of $1.20. Well, their final cost is going to be the $8 minus the $1.20, which is $6.80. The second method, sometimes this is, if they just ask you to find the final cost, this method is more efficient. And for this method, what you're going to do is take 100% minus whatever the percent discount is, and that gives us 85%. Well, they're going to pay for 85% of the cost. So you're going to take 85% as a decimal times the original amount gives us the amount they're going to pay. Notice it matches. The discount then is the $8 minus the $6.80, which is $1.20. So those are the two methods. If they only ask you for the final price, this one is much more efficient because you don't have to multiply and then subtract. You can just multiply and get the final amount. Markups. Caleb buys necklaces at a wholesale price of $48 each. He then marks up the price by 75% and sells the necklaces. What's the amount of the markup and what is the selling price? Again, here's the first method. The markup is going to be the original price plus the 75% times the original. So 0.75 times 48 is 36. That's the amount he's going to mark it up. So we have to add the markup to the original, which gives us $84 for a selling price. Method 2, 100% plus 75% will give us 175%. So that's the amount of our markup. So we have to change 175% to a decimal, so that's going to be 1.75, right? And we're going to take 1.75 times the original price. So 1.75 times 48 gives us $84, which is what we found before. If we wanted to find how much the markup was, we only have to take the selling price minus the markup. So we're going to take 84 minus 48, and that gives us $36. So that is it for percent change. We'll see you in class.